the simpler you can make it, I think the more likely everyone is to adopt it. Like, I don't necessarily think that. I know that. If it's really challenging, though, people aren't going to adopt it. And until a third-party solution like Baxtr came along, there's not really an easy way to implement a subscription-based wellness plan with monthly payments and all that other stuff. There's not a good way to put that into a practice easily, unless you're like a huge corporate somebody that can build your own software. So that was our goal, was let's make it easy. And at the same time, we're going to be going back to Melanie Bowden's TEDx. We're going to increase access to care. That's going to benefit everybody in the space. We can help streamline the financial operations of the clinic. We're going to open up the door for monthly payments for the pet owners. That's going to have their pets at the vet more often. That's going to make the pet happier and healthier. It's going to make the owners happier and healthier. Certainly going to help with the vets. Have fewer emergency visits would be a great thing, I would imagine, for everybody.
So the big question is this: how do veterinarians like you, who live demanding lives,
who never seem to have enough time, able to achieve balance and take control of your finances with confidence?
That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers.
We are Florida Veterinary Advisors, and this is the Smarter Vet Podcast. Hey, Smarter Vet. Welcome back to the Smarter Vet Financial Podcast. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We're so happy to have you here. My name is Tom Seco, co-host and co-founder of Florida Veterinary Advisors, a national personal and business financial planning firm providing a different way of thinking to make financial decisions easy so you can spend time doing other things that you love. If you want to nerd out on some other financial stuff outside of this conversation today, please check out our website at flvetadvisors.com. There you'll find assessments, masterclasses, race CEs. Pretty much you can get lost on our website, and we keep building more and more on there. And there's some business shorties as well. If you're a practice owner and you want to learn more about business stuff, we've got business videos that are less than 5 minutes, estate planning, everything you can think of through flvetadvisors.com. I always love having conversations with different people in the industry because we get to learn so much, and there's so much value that we don't actually get to see from different people's perspectives. And I've had the pleasure of meeting Mark Hines recently. He's part of Baxtr. He's one of the founder of Baxtr, and they're doing some really cool things in the industry that I'm hoping that this conversation today will be able to bring some insights to you, or at least a key takeaway to help enhance your life a little bit more. And Mark, it's so awesome to have you here. Thanks for taking the time to talk with me and our listeners.
Sure thing. Happy to be here.
So, and if anyone, and if you're not seeing the video right now, he's got this cool little goat on his desk as well. It's so awesome. I feel like I need a goat or something like that.
It's cropped out of the video on my feed. Yeah, it's the screaming goat. You push it down and it makes the funny sound.
Oh man, I need that. That's great.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Well, so you're not a veterinarian, right?
I am not a veterinarian. That is right.
So your path into the veterinary world is a bit unconventional. It's kind of just like myself because I'm not a veterinarian. Can you share what led you to start Baxtr and why veterinary medicine became your focus?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. It's a combination of a few things, really. First of all, our what I'll call my core team, me, Benji, and Nick, we've been traveling in the same circles for a little over 20 years now. We've owned a few businesses together. We met in a cappella music production, as one does, of course. So a couple of geeks, or three geeks really, that had this love of a cappella music, and it's just kind of gone from there. Yeah, we started working together again. We took a little time off. But in 2017, I started working with a dental membership plan company, and I kind of brought the team together in that world, and we built this really cool product over there in the dental space, and got to thinking, animal health seems kind of cool, and no one seems to be solving this problem over on that side. So let's take our skill set and do some benefit for people over there. We've gotten really good at doing the subscription care thing in a health practice of sorts. And, human health and animal health, when running a practice, it's kind of the same. So we saw
Right.
some room for improvement on efficiencies and operations and whatnot in the veterinary side, and kind of at the same time we saw this. We were exploring other verticals, we called it. So we're looking at other verticals, and I'm thinking we look at veterinary. We're doing our research on the veterinary medicine side, and we stumble across a TEDx by Dr. Melanie Bowden. I don't know if you're familiar with that name.
Yes, she's been on
Um,
our show before, actually.
Excellent. She inspired it all. She did her TEDx. Maybe you're familiar with it, but it was a lot about. She had no idea that VetMed was what it is when she got into it, and that there's this
Hmm.
whole business side of things, and there's this whole it's very trying on the mental health of a veterinarian to run a successful practice, and there's all sorts of stuff. And we started to realize, veterinarians really don't do what they do to get rich. that is not why anybody started studying animal medicine. I don't think they do it to help animals. And we're like, we love animals, and we have this skill set that we think can help them run their businesses way better. That's going to improve life for everyone, right? The pet owners, the pets themselves, the veterinarians, their staff. Everybody wins when you can improve those efficiencies and whatnot. So with all of that, our history of working together and doing good things together, and seeing the opportunity over here to help out, um, just made sense.
What was your first career?
My first career. I don't think I've ever
How
been
did
asked
you get up
career.
to teaming up with these three guys, starting Baxter, transitioning from it, and like where did it all begin?
So my first career, I think, was probably selling stereo systems. It went
Okay.
from car audio to home theater, and I started that in college. That was how I was paying the bills, so to speak, in college.
Mm,
And in college is where I was also doing a cappella music. I went to NC State University for electrical engineering, and I was literally like 3 or 4 classes away from getting the bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. But at the same time, I was singing in this a cappella group called the Grains of Time. And the Grains of Time was so much more fun than studying Butterworth bandpass filters and linear systems and mess. So
I bet.
that's how the acapella and the music and the like selling stereos and stuff was just freedom. It didn't feel like work. I was just getting
Right.
to geek out with car stereo systems as a 19-year-old. Like, why not?
That's
So
fun.
yeah,
That's really cool.
that was my first career. I actually started a home theater business for a while. I did that, and I've kind of dabbled in that world since. But
It's neat to see people how they've progressed throughout their lives, and all of a sudden now you're here working within veterinary medicine, working on some cool things. And sometimes it's firsthand. I'm sure you've seen that it's hard to maintain client relationships, and especially practices. They do struggle a lot with getting people to even just do preventative care because it can be somewhat costly for people. What were some of the early problems that Baxter and your team set out to solve?
um, I don't know if it's the problem, but the solution is to keep it simple. I think that a lot of these processes are made overly complex, and I don't truly know why, but I think the practice tends to overanalyze what is necessary in order to do certain things very well, and a lot of that is probably it could probably be credited to like just the PIMS that run the practice in the first place. I mean, the
Mm,
PIMS don't seem to be. I'm sure that there are some, but by nature, or since the dawn of the PIMS, they don't seem to be concerned about user experience and making it like an easy thing to navigate. Now, granted, there's a lot of information that it's got to keep organized and have at your beckoning call whenever you need it. So I get that can be tricky, but we've noticed that people kind of get in the mindset of expecting things to be 73 clicks away, And we just kind of want to we want to get away from all that and show that like this actually can be easier. And the simpler you can make it, I think the more likely everyone is to adopt it. I don't necessarily think that. I know that. If it's really challenging, though, people aren't going to adopt it. And until a third party solution like Baxtr came along, there's not really an easy way to implement a subscription based wellness plan with monthly payments and all that other stuff. There's not a good way to put that into a practice easily, unless you're like a huge corporate somebody that can build your own software. So we've, that was our goal, was let's make it easy. Let's make it very, very, very easy to do. And at the same time, we're going to be going back to Melanie Bowden's TEDx. We're going to increase access to care. That's going to benefit everybody in the space. We can help streamline the financial operations of the clinic. We're going to open up the door for monthly payments for the pet owners. That's going to have their pets at the vet more often. That's going to make the pet happier and healthier. It's going to make the owners happier and healthier. Certainly going to help with the vets. Have fewer emergency visits would be a great thing, I would imagine, for everybody. So
that's probably a curse word for all the emergency clinics. They'll be like, we need emergencies.
Yeah. Right. I'm sure that they will still have emergencies.
Oh yeah, plenty.
My dog on a daily basis is eating plastic toys from my daughters. So
oh boy, what type of dog you got?
For a vet. She's a super mutt. They literally called her a super mutt. She's got 3 or 4 dominant breeds and then like 13 some other breeds, but she's my
that's
sweetheart.
Incredible. Yeah, super mutt. That's kind of neat. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, apparently it is.
That's cool. Yeah, I will say preventative care, because like when I have a little dog myself, his name's Theodore. He's a multi-po and 7 pounds. And, sometimes it's like, even when you go to the vet, it can be a bit shocking sometimes, the treatment plan that they put out there, of just even simple things of like, you got to go we should do this blood work, or we need to process this one thing. And it becomes very costly for some people. So it's cool to see that there is a solution like this that's out there, one, making simple, and at the same time making it more accessible, because that's where, I will say, making the judgment call of like, am I going to do this versus not do it because of can I afford it? And then it's like, well, if I can fix the price for it to a certain degree, then that can help a lot of people, which is really cool to see this being an option now.
Yeah, it's also a transparency thing, and not that, like, I've never been to a vet clinic that didn't want to tell me how much something was going to cost. I mean, they don't like delivering the bad news at the end of the visit, obviously, but if you ask them up front, they'll certainly give you the price. But when you get into a subscription model, it's kind of the first thing that you see, like, this is either $400 a year or $40 a month. And so you then know, it's like, well, I don't need to dissect what all's included. I know that this is what they recommend me do on an annual basis. So it's just more palpable and much easier for the consumer to understand what it is that they're buying and make budgeting decisions for it. And don't discount the member mindset. The member mindset is extremely valuable to the clinic. It's great for the member, because I know that as a member, or as someone that is paying for a subscription at your veterinary clinic, I know that you're going to not so much treat me better than anybody else, but you're going to appreciate my ongoing loyalty. And I'm probably going to get perks like discounts off of other treatments. So at least I know if there's a surprise bill, it's not going to be as bad as it would have been, had I not been a subscriber. So all kinds of benefits.
Absolutely. Well, when we think about, wellness plans, being proactive, a lot of that has become, it's something a lot of people want to do. They want to implement. I think a lot of times people do look at it being kind of complex, the 74 steps. And even like when you said that earlier, 73 steps, I think is what you said. It's like, I was even just talking with someone on my team, just the complexity of even technology or walking through something where it's like, yeah, it's going to be a quick thing. And then it turns into, instead of 5 minutes, it turns into 5 hours. And it's like, holy cow, like, why is this so complicated to make this happen? How is Baxtr, like, where are you all being able to help them follow through on these good intentions, being able to implement these plans? Like, what are you all doing to roll this out?
Yep. So again, our focus is on keeping it simple. We some of the ways that we help to keep it simple. We have a very easy clinic sign up process. It's less than 10 minutes. Now you will have to wait for the merchant processor approval, but other than that, that's not something that you have to actively be engaged in. They'll just let you know a couple days later that you're good to go.
Okay.
There's no software to install. There's no integration to manage or pay for. Sometimes the integrations cost extra money, and most people think that they need one, but they don't. Again, this goes back to we're overcomplicating things for no reason whatsoever. We've gone so far as to mimic the way your credit card terminal works now. So, when someone makes a payment through our system for your wellness plan, it's deposited the next day into your bank, and then you can just look at the report and reconcile the account just like you do with your credit card terminal. There's no different process there.
Amazing.
We handle all the notifications, so we're in a perfect world where everybody, you have 1,000 people join your plan and all 1,000 of them are making all of their payments on time every day. You're not getting any notifications. You're just treating pets. That's all you're doing. It's great. The money's going into your bank account. Everything's great. Now we know that the ideal world doesn't exist. So we're notifying you when you need to know things. If somebody misses a payment, we let them know, we let you know. And our system will automatically try and get those payments again. And we've made it so easy now that it's not even really simplicity as much as it is assurance now. We've got a monthly payment guarantee to where even if after letting you know and letting them know and retrying that payment 7 times over the next 3 weeks, even if all that fails and they're a no-show, we guarantee that you'll receive the rest of that year's worth of payments. So we're trying to take all of the risk and all of the headache out of the process and just making it let us show you how easy this is, because it can be very, very, very easy.
Yes. I mean, I think everything is easy within its essence, but as humans and society, things are more complicated than they actually need to be.
Yeah.
It gets me thinking about, like, even nutrition, where it's like people think about, like, I can't lose weight. And it's like, literally, when you look at it, its core, are you in a calorie deficit or are you in a calorie surplus? Are you
Right.
eating more than your body burns, or are you eating less than your body burns? And then if you put the good stuff in, not the bad stuff, and you're eating less than what your body burns, you're going to lose weight. It's like, it's so simple, but then the whole world has all of this stuff
Right.
that's out there. And it's like, why is this so
the
complicated?
Good news is the good news is we're not like tempting you with lots of bad decisions that take more time. Like you don't like, with the diet, that's easy to say, but man, you put an 18-ounce ribeye in front of me, I'm probably going to eat it no matter where I am on my calorie budget for the day. But anyway, I mean, again, the fewer barriers you have, I think, and the less friction that you've got to implement a process, I think the more likely anyone is to do it. And
love it.
Even so, even as easy as we're making it, and as much feedback as we can give you and guidance as we can give you, at the end of the day, you've still got to maintain good relationships and do good work. But what we are trying to do is allow you the freedom to worry about that part of it and don't have to worry about all the bookkeeping part of it. Let us handle that part of it.
Love it. Yeah, that's what a lot of them could use. A lot of practices that out there. It's like, how do you do something to help the pets more, help the business, and make it simple? And it's really cool to see that when you think of, on your own opinion, your experience being in the industry, looking at the practices that are forward thinking, the ones that are really trying to do things different over the next few years or so. What do you think they're going to be doing differently? And how are you all planning to continue to evolve with them?
Well, of course, I'm a little I'm biased in what I think they're going to be doing differently, but
Of
I do
course.
believe that forward thinking practices are going to embrace the idea of subscription pet care and the benefits of the member mindset
Mm.
as a way to somewhat dramatically increase access to care. I've been telling people for a while. It's really starting to sink in lately. Like everybody wants a monthly payment, um, and and a lot of people don't want a monthly payment, but some people need a monthly payment. And
That's right.
this is a great way to just again lower that barrier. And I think the forward thinking practices are gonna they're gonna embrace the idea of the foundational stuff being on a subscription. So I think that's recurring revenue for the clinic is good. Lower payments for the consumer is good. Everything's good about it.
Yeah, it makes the barrier to entry a lot smaller, and especially getting people to be more compliant and wanting to do the care, and it's cool to see that. I'm actually really excited to see how more of them actually implement. I remember some of the practices even in my area when they started offering through some of these organizations, they're like payment plans for care that's provided. Like there's a down payment and then you can pay it over 12 months, which I thought was really cool. It's just a way to be able to help people get the care that they're looking for their animals. And but if you were to give one takeaway, just let's say from Baxtr, uh, or even just from an operational, like the business wellness plans, that's something that people could just start considering, chewing on, even take the next step towards right now, what would you suggest that they do?
Um, I, I'm reminded of the Nike slogan, "Just do it." And it's so easy for me to say that, but honestly, I can't think of a reason why you wouldn't. Obviously, I would prefer that you implement a wellness plan with monthly payments. I would prefer that you do that with Baxter. There are other providers out there. We're not the only one. We do have a preference for the way we do it, but um, I think it's a good thing. I think you should be doing that no matter what, whether you use a provider like us or not. Offer a wellness plan of some sorts, even if it's just an annual thing. I think putting the attention on that just streamlines everything else from there. Instead of, I see a lot of like new clinic or new client specials. $25 off the first visit or whatever. That's great. It's fantastic, but it's encouraging like clinic hopping, basically, subconsciously, especially to someone that may need a lower barrier to entry.
That makes
So, and
sense.
where a monthly payment would really establish a relationship and get an ongoing care plan in place. Um, I think that's beneficial. So my one takeaway is do a wellness plan. I mean, we all know it's good. Just do it.
Absolutely. I definitely think it's something that people haven't started looking at. It should at least just have the conversation. And, what's the best way for them to connect with you, your team?
I mean, we of course have a website, getbaxter.com, and the name Baxter does not have an E in it, so it's Baxtr. We are super cool.
Yeah,
And
super
as you
cool.
guys can imagine, every domain name with the word Baxter with the E in it was taken. So we had to come up with something. Yeah, getbaxter.com. Or you can, feel free to email me directly. I'm happy to answer questions. I actually respond to my emails. I'm not behind a gatekeeper or anything like that. So, um,
Awesome.
yeah, we're easy.
Cool. Well, Smarter Vet, if you did miss that and you want to get in touch, we'll make sure we include the information for Mark and his team in the show notes. And Mark, it's been awesome talking with you today. Thanks for taking some time to talk with me, talk with our listeners.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So, Smarter Vet, thanks for joining in. If you found this episode to be insightful or useful to you in any way, please take it and share it with a friend or three so they can be able to enjoy the same great information that you did today. And if you've not yet rated our show, please go to Spotify or Apple to give us some love. Let us know what you think, because it really does help other people find us so they can also tune in as well. This is Tom Seco wishing you a lifetime of financial success.
Don't forget to visit our website and sign up for our newsletter. By subscribing, you'll be the first to know about upcoming race-approved CE webinars, podcast releases, short presentations, and articles that we publish. Make sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on LinkedIn, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.